There you go.
What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. It's NBA Talk with Jay, my guys. Y'all know what it is. It's Thursday. We got our guy Ronald Cabang with us at UCapper Sports, my guys. We trying to get some cash every single day. What's up with you, Ronald? Everything cool with you? Nice shirt, my guy.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, man, everything's been really good, especially like the past couple weeks here. Currently on like a 12-2-1 run, combined in NBA and MLB. So, things are looking up right now. Hopefully, we just continue to go in that direction.
Yes, sir, man. Yeah, everything looking up. It's playoff time, guys. We're trying to get some cash every single day. We appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. If you're here trying to learn how to sports bet, not just going to the end of the show, you watching the show, I appreciate that as well. We won't be too long with the show. It'll be around 20, 25 minutes, man. But we're trying to get cash every single day. We appreciate everybody for tuning in, your time, your persistence, you know what I'm saying, determination, trying to get some cash. Playoff
Mhm.
mode unlocked in this one, man. But we're not here to waste your time, guys. It's all business here on the show. 3 games today. We're going to go over them. We're going to go over our top picks as well, leans, how we're looking at the games, all that good stuff, man. If you like the show, hit the like button, subscribe, and all that good stuff. You can share the show as well in that one, Ronald. First game up in this one. Let's head over here to the streets of Brooklyn in this one. We got the Nets getting 4.5 points at the house versus the 76ers in this one, land 4.5 on the road. Total sitting at 210. It did open up at 208.5. Looks like it's trickled up
Mhm.
a couple points in this one, Ronald. Nets probably be trying to bomb away from three in this one. What do you think here? No one's really giving the Nets a chance to win the game. Obviously, they're probably one of the worst teams in the playoffs or whatever, but
Yeah.
they did give them somewhat a run for their money in that first quarter in the last game, really first quarter, first half, right? Where the Sixers came out really slow in there. And I think this one's real simple. Do the Sixers have killer instinct in them, Ronald? I think that's how you look at this game.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like if you look at the matchup this season, obviously the Nets have changed before and after the All Star break, but they've yet to beat the Sixers so far this season. I did give out the Sixers under 5.5 series games in like multiple shows. I still believe that that's going to happen. I thought the Nets could like sneak out a win in some way, and I think if they do win one, it would be this game. But after watching the first two, I just don't know if they have the physicality to keep up with the Sixers here, especially on in the paint. The Sixers, like I mentioned, I feel like they're just a little bit too physical. Also, the pace of play is a problem for the Nets. Somehow, the Sixers are playing even slower than they did in the regular season. They were like bottom three or something in pace of play during the regular season. So it's just an uncomfortable pace of play for the Nets here, who want to play a little bit quicker with the guys that they have on the court. I think allowing second chance points and points off turnovers are really what's killing them in this series, and I don't think they have the players or the roster to really make adjustments to sneak out that win that I thought they were gonna have. But I think this is gonna end up being a sweep, dude. The pretty much like the from a total aspect too, like it is super low, but like I said, the pace of play is really low here compared to what they did in the regular season. I think it's at like 90 or 90 and a half around there. That's extremely low. I think it's
Mhm.
the low total is warranted here. The only reason why teams would probably go over would probably be because I don't know if the Nets could stop the Sixers from scoring inside the paint or getting to the free throw line. So I would probably stay away from the total for the most part. I would look towards maybe the Nets team total under. Really, if it goes over, it would be the Sixers. To be honest, like you said, the killer instinct, right? If the killer instinct shows
Right.
up, they just want to dominate this game. They'll go over, pretty much like 110, 115 on their own. So I would look towards the Sixers to win and cover this game. Probably look towards the Nets team total under if you want to pivot off of the spread. If you look from a trend perspective, we can go all the way back to like 2010 playoffs. In the first round specifically, if a team won as a home favorite in the first two games and are a road favorite in game three, 23 and
Mhm.
7 straight up, 20 and 10 against the spread. But if you add that they're favored by four or more on the road, 17 and 2 straight up, 14 and 5 against the spread. And we kind of talked right before the show. If we're looking at the teams who win, basically this season in the playoffs, every team that won has covered the spread. So we're looking
Mhm.
for the Sixers here in this one.
Yeah, that's a good look in that one, man. I don't know if the Sixers got the killer instinct in them, to be honest with you. You saw it in last game coming out there slow, even though they did come and win the game. I think the Nets still have some up their sleeve. It's this simple. Like I'm not betting a full game here, although I don't bet against best desperation spots. Me personally, I know that there's gonna be sweeps in the NBA. Even though the NBA doesn't like
Mhm.
sweeps, there still will be some when one team is just so much better than the other. And obviously we have that here with the Philadelphia 76ers. But if I'm betting this game, I still would lean Nets in the first quarter here. That's going to be the max
Mhm.
motivation spot. Backs are against the wall, and simply put, I feel like if they can do it on the road, why can't you do it at the house as well when you have your home crowd behind you as well? So if I'm betting this game, it's Nets in the first quarter. I don't necessarily. It's not that I don't trust them enough. It's just I do trust the Warriors a tad bit more, but I do think Nets in the first quarter is the right side in this game. Absolute desperation spot, and it's just some. That's a rule that I
Mhm.
have in the playoffs. I do not bet against the teams that have their backs against the wall, even if they're not the greatest teams. We know that they're going to get their max effort tonight. If they're going to win the game, it's going to be tonight. And obviously, if they lose, then this is going to be a simple sweep. In this one, it's only going to go four
Mhm.
games. It's very possible, but I can only look towards the Nets in this game. If I'm betting it, it's Nets in the first quarter for me in this one. And total wise, I don't. I mean, I don't know what the hell. I mean, this game has been the pace has been playing so slow. But there is money is coming on the over, but it's crazy, Ronald, because we started doing the show and now it's some 209 and a half starting to pop up here, like
Come
literally
back
right
down.
before the show. In this one, man. So yeah, I no thoughts on the total for me. Maybe could go under again. Obviously, if the Nets are making their threes, it could possibly go over. But I did kind of like what I saw from them. I liked what I saw from the Nets in the first quarter, first half, last game, and I didn't like what I saw from the Sixers, where maybe they don't
Mhm.
necessarily have that killer instinct, kind of just playing around with their food, right? Came out in the second half
Yeah.
like, all right, come on, guys, let's go ahead and win this game. But if they do that here tonight, they could possibly lose this one outright, guys. So we know we're going to get the top tier effort from the Nets here. In the first quarter, it should probably be where they have their best effort at it as well. And you get complacency set in for the Sixers. They know that they just want to win the game, right? So they could come out a little bit slow footed here once again. Nets first quarter plus the one would be the way that I'm looking. But in all honesty, guys, I did not bet it. Guys, Runner, what you think? Any thoughts on Nets first quarter?
No, that makes a lot of sense. If they're gonna win any quarter, it would probably be that first quarter with that sense of
Yes,
urgency
sir.
coming out right away. And then, obviously, like the Sixers feel a little bit comfortable early, so they probably just trying to do just enough to win the game. But when it
Mm-hmm.
comes down to it, if it gets down to like free throws and stuff like that, I think they get past the 4 point mark, 4.5, whatever it might be, for the full game line. So I would still lean the Sixers. I would still look towards the Sixers way for the full game. But if the Nets do win or cover anything, it'll probably be that first quarter for sure.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So heavy lean Nets first quarter, first half for me. The top spot for me would be Nets in the first quarter, guys. In all honesty, I did not bet it. Let's head over here to the streets of San Francisco in this one, guys. We do have the Warriors laying 5.5 points at the house. The CV6 is at some spots as well, guys. I'm on the first quarter here, Warriors. It is juiced up -2.5.
Mm.
There were minus a few minus ones to have out there, guys. I can't lie to you. Like I always say, shop around at the best books. Make sure you're getting the best line. If you're in a legal state where you can bet, have as many books as you can, guys. They always have different numbers. I'm talking about props, totals, first quarter, first half, all that good stuff. These books are gonna have different lines. If you're gonna
Mm.
bet something, why not get the best possible line possible, guys? Barstool and Bet Rivers were hanging a -1.5 this morning. I didn't get those. I took -2.5 last night on the Warriors. I don't think it'll matter. Even if you have to bet -3 in the first quarter, I think the Warriors come out here with emphasis in this one. Obviously, down 0-2 at the house. We know the Warriors play a lot better basketball at the house. Kings, first road game as well. I'm expecting some of these young guys to be maybe a little bit overwhelmed with the crowd over there for Golden State in this one. I know no Draymond Green. It does throw a little wrench in it, but this is a spot that I would take 100 times out of 100 in this one, Ronald. How do you think happens this game? Warriors coming out here cash a trifecta spot?
I would think so. I mean, I don't expect the Kings to sweep this series, and if this is a urgency spot for the Warriors, or urgency spot for the Warriors, should be this one where
Mm-hmm.
they turn up and win this game. And like we talked about so far, teams that won the game cover the spread. To a few things about the spread though. Like I think the biggest concern, like you mentioned, is Draymond, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But I think the experience and the flexibility of this Warriors roster, I think they should be able to adjust without him. We know the Warriors also, they're more efficient at home offensively. They've been like that all season
Mm-hmm.
long, pretty much. Another thing to mention too. if you pretty from a trend perspective, the Warriors 13-2 straight up and 11-4 against the spread this season, going from home to road. So that travel situation there, they actually do pretty good. Traveling from road to home. From a prop perspective, this is actually probably one of my favorite plays today. Is actually I took
Okay.
Looney 14 plus rebounds and assists. He got this in 5 of the last 6 games without Draymond. In the 5 games that he did hit the prop, he went 16 or more, and then in 4 of those games he had 19 or more. So I actually laddered it up to 19. You can get it at plus 520. Obviously, it's a little
Damn.
sprinkle when it gets to that number, but I think Looney is going to be
Okay.
a big part of this game here. Another thing to mention too, today's game is a pretty rare situation where um, the road team lost game 2 as a road favorite, and then now they're a
Mhm.
home favorite in game 3. That only happened like 6 times since the 2002 2003 playoffs. And the most recent one was actually last year, and it was the Warriors. The Warriors ended up beating the Grizzlies by 30 points that game. They flew over
Damn.
the closing total by like 30 points as well. So I think it's a similar situation. I think it's going to be the Warriors tonight. I think it also goes over. I know the total is super high, but I think for the most part, the Warriors, I think they're gonna be coming out hungry here, and they're gonna try to make a statement game in this game 3 with a big win. So I would look towards the Warriors and an over.
Yeah, I couldn't talk you off there. Yeah, I couldn't talk you off Warriors first quarter, first half, and full game, to be honest with you. If there's gonna be a Warriors type of game, it's gonna be this one. Personally, I don't. It's not that I don't want to take them full game, but I do think the Kings are the more hungrier team. The Warriors are starting to look old, man, I must say. But I mean, we know this is the NBA. They're down 0-2. This will not likely be a sweep as well. Although I do think the Kings win this series. I want to ask you that, Ronald. Do you think that the Warriors have a chance to come out here and win 4 out of the last 5 games? So do you think there's a chance that they come back and win this series?
I think I mean, when you got Curry and Clay and stuff like that, I think you always have a chance. It's just a matter of how will these young guys over at Sacramento who are going into the playoffs for the first time, for the most part,
Mhm.
how are they gonna to react to the crowd over in Golden State, right? Like if Golden State does dominate this game, right? Like if they end up winning by 20, like just for instance, if they end up winning by 20 points, how do they come back in game 4? Do they
Right.
feel like from from a psychology standpoint, are they going to be able to bounce back off of a loss? Because they've been on a high since pretty much halfway through the NBA season, right? They've been the number 2 in the West. Now they're in the playoffs, win the first 2 games against one of the top teams in the league for the last few years. They're probably at an emotional high right now. So how do they take a loss in this situation is going to tell us how the series is going to go, to be honest. And I already thought the series was going to go 7 games, but and I didn't know who was going to win game 7, to be honest. I just think that it's going to be a close series overall. I'm excited to see where this game goes, but for the most part, that's the way that I look, is the Warriors and the over in this one.
Yeah, it would be tough to see the Warriors lose a game at the house. I'll be perfectly honest, but I'll tell you how I'm looking at it, man. I'm watching these games, and that game too. I mean, obviously, Kings come out there and won both games, right? It's really what they are expected to do. To be honest with you, Warriors are supposed to come out here and win the next 2. In my opinion, I wouldn't be surprised if the home team won every single game in this one, but I do think the
Yeah.
Kings are the more hungrier team. I think that Warriors thing on the road is like even more magnified in the playoffs, right? Because they even talked about it. When they're on away, it's just really tough for them to kind of get up because they don't have the crowd behind them. Now they do. We expecting better games from Jordan Poole. This should be a trifecta spot for the Warriors. There's no 5.5s out there anymore. It's all sitting at 6s
Yeah.
here. Obviously, no Draymond Green, but I still think the Warriors come out here with emphasis in the first quarter, first half, and full game. To be honest with you, this is their game. I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see them win this game by 20 points. They're down 0-2, but I must say they're starting to look kind of old, man. Curry, Clay, they're putting Clay. This is the thing: the Kings are making their defense be their offense. They're making Clay and Curry work on defense,
Hmm.
and it's kind of affecting their offense in this one. But this should be a Warriors type of game. See what I'm saying? Refs will probably be on them. They'll be giving some calls. Don't be a bit surprised to see a couple of early fouls on Sabonis, on
Yeah.
De'Aaron Fox or something like that. In this one, they probably telling Curry, "Hey, look, drive to the paint every time. We're gonna be calling the fouls, man." So this should be a Warriors type of game from start to finish. I'm not taking them full game. I do think the Kings are the better team. Sometimes the better team can
Hmm.
win, guys. It can very happen, but I mean, I know how to bet the NBA. I know how the NBA officiates these type of games. They don't want want to sweep.
Yeah.
This will probably be a Warriors type of game. They probably get it done full game as well. But my top spots here, I bet first quarter -2.5. I still like it at -3. If you had to bet the 3.5, it's on you. But I mean, I probably would take first half before I lay 3.5 in the first quarter with the Warriors. But this should be a spot where they come out and get up by double digits early and probably won't look back in this one. Ronald, what do you think about Warriors first half? Should I add that one on? Obviously, they're gonna bump it up, right? The full game
Yeah.
is -6. The first half is -4, -4.5. They're gonna add extra
Mhm.
points on there, but this is just a Warriors type of spot here. I think the Kings struggle here out of the gate and in the first half as well, Ronald. What do you think about Warriors first half?
Yeah, that makes sense to me to take the first quarter, first half. I think you obviously want to avoid the halftime adjustments on the Kings side if they end
Mhm.
up playing pretty well out the halftime. So I would say if anything, first quarter, second half, first quarter and first half would probably be where the biggest gap would be between the two teams because
Mhm.
obviously the sense of urgency on the on the
Yeah.
Warriors side, and then you avoid the adjustments at halftime. The thing that you mentioned about like Sabonis, obviously he's been in the news a lot, and we talked about this last season, Jay, with refing in the playoffs. The
Mhm.
the refs meet more often in the playoffs to make the proper adjustments, right? If they see something wrong that was done in previous games, they make the adjustments to the next game. In the regular season, they do it like weekly or like every other week. In the playoffs, they
Mhm.
do it more often. So if we see something like on like obviously the whole thing with Draymond and all that stuff, this game is going to be in a microscope. And I think that like what you mentioned, I think Sabonis could be there could be a chance Sabonis get into
Yeah.
foul trouble early, but just based off of like what we hear on the news and how the refs probably are going to adjust to his play because people have been mentioning how he uses the ball sort of as a weapon
Right.
and shit like that. So we might see some offensive fouls, some ticky tack stuff like that. But for
Mhm.
the most part, I stick with what I think, and I think it's going to be the Warriors in the over tonight.
Yeah, and we know the NBA would like to see as long a series as possible as well. Wouldn't be surprised if this one went 7, but I don't think the Kings will lose a single game at the house, guys. They have the home court advantage. That's huge here. But I do think the Warriors first quarter, first half are the right sides in this game, and couldn't talk you all full game as well. If they are down at the half, I'll tell you this, I will be bombing Warriors in the third quarter, guys. But I don't think they'll be
Uh-huh.
down at the half in this one, guys. But that's how we're looking at that one. And I think you say you like the over as well, right, Ronald?
I do. I think the Warriors are going to be the ones to drive this one over. To be honest, I think they're I think that offensively they're going to they're going to do a little bit better here without Draymond. I think he's
Hmm.
kind of held them down a little bit. Obviously, he's their motor, right? He's the guy that runs their offense for the most part. But I think here we're going to have a pace that's going to match with the Kings. And they're gonna have another weapon on the court versus people just sagging off of Draymond. So I think that's gonna
Right.
help them out a little bit here.
And Warriors team total over is at 123 as well, guys. If you like to take that, I
If
took
you want to
Warriors
pivot,
first
yeah,
quarter
makes
minus
sense.
2.5. Like I say, if you want, I mean, obviously it's at 3 now, so I'll go official with that. But did take 2.5 last night, and I think that first half is a look as well. I didn't get there. I know it's shaded up, but Warriors first quarter and first half are the right sides in this game. Wouldn't be surprised one bit for them to come out, cash the trifecta, and go over their team total over. Ronald, last game up in this one. Let's head over here to the streets of LA in this one, man. We still in Cali. California vibes. You dig what I'm saying? Clippers getting 3.5 points at the house versus the Suns in this one. What I saw with the Suns, man, their starting five has to play damn near the whole game. The Money Williams doesn't even trust the bench. We know that the Clippers have the much deeper team. I usually what I like to do is take the team that's going to win the series in game 3. I do think the Suns win this series, but the Clippers are really giving them a run for their money. I would be surprised if the Clippers won one of these games, right? So I kind of want to just kind of sit this one out. I lean Suns in this game. I kind of, and the spread's going up as well. I want to just kind of sit this one out, and whoever loses this one, take that one, take the loser in game 4. So I know for a fact I'll be doing that, but I lean Suns
Yeah.
here, Ronald. What do you think happens in this game? Do you think that they try to play KD and Chris Paul heavy minutes once again here?
Yeah, I got two looks on this one. I do like the Suns here. I also like the under for the most part. I know going into this game 1-1, I know the Suns are gonna come into this one with a sense of urgency and trying to steal one in LA. I
Hmm.
think a few things are gonna change from game 2 to game 3. In game 2, we saw the Clippers go to the line 31 times compared to the Suns 14 times, and then I think that's gonna balance out. I just talked about how the refs look at these games and they tend to to shift adjust the reffing aspect of it. I think that's going to be that discrepancy is going to go away here. I think the other thing is the Suns shooting 60% from the field. I don't expect them to do that again either. I think that there's going to be a letdown spot offensively, and we know the Clippers are a better defensive team at home. Their defensive rating is 4.5 points better, 4.5 points better at home than it is on the road. So all those things there kind of points toward the under in this one. Obviously, you mentioned the the heavy minutes from the key players like KD and
Mhm.
Booker, but you also got Kawhi and Westbrook who have been like load management players all season long, and they also
Right.
played heavy minutes as well. So it's going to affect both sides of the ball both teams here. So that was a few reasons why I like the under in this one. What has me on the Sun side though is if you watch the first two games, you take away the second chance opportunities and on the offensive glass for the Clippers. Dude, their offense looked like crap. Otherwise, they what they did from game one to game two, they played Biombo a little bit more, and they took
Mhm.
Jock Landale out of the rotation completely in game two. That helped with the rebound aspect of it. They went from 15 offensive rebounds and second chance opportunities to 12 because of it. I think like subtle changes like that is going to be the reason why the Suns win and cover this game here. Also, like I said, they're going to come with a sense of urgency tonight because they gave one up at home. So for me,
Right.
I think two ways to look at it is really the under and also to the Sun side here.
Yeah, I couldn't talk you off that, man. Yeah, the Suns, it's kind of crazy because a lot of people thought the refs were going to be against the Suns in the last game. The host Scott Foster, Chris Paul. I'm watching the game. The refs were on the Suns in that one. I at this feel like it's almost like they know that everybody wanted to be on the Clippers because of the ref in that game. They were on the Suns. The Suns were getting the calls. They were getting all the 50-50 calls in that one. You just kind of have to, when something becomes so public, guys, it becomes negative EV. I just wanted to let you guys know that. So when everybody knows something, knows about something, that's when it's kind of like, that's when it's probably not going to work anymore, guys. So I just wanted
Mhm.
to let you guys know about that. But yeah, this is a close series, man. Even though I think the Suns are going to win it, this is a really close series. The Clippers bench, like when Aiden goes off the floor, that's bad. Even though Biombo has been good, obviously he's not the non-8 minutes have not been so good for the Suns
Mhm.
here. Even though I still like Biombo out there, Clippers bench is a lot better than the Suns, and I guess the Suns probably need to get this series over with sooner than later because you don't want Chris Paul having to play heavy minutes like he has. Oh, another thing,
Yeah.
campaign being out as well. That's another reason why Chris Paul has had to play a lot more minutes. They don't really have a backup point guard. They're not really wanting to trust TJ Warren. They don't want to trust Terrence Ross. You're kind of like, all right, I think KD played the whole third quarter last game, Ronald. So it's like, hey, you get a few little minutes on the bench, get your ass back out there, man. So it's a tough series. It's a really close series. I will say, whoever loses this game is probably the right side in game four. But we know Suns are still in one of these games in LA, guys. That's going to happen. So it's either going to be
Yeah.
tonight or the next one. Couldn't talk you off just taking Suns tonight. If they do happen to lose, then definitely take them in the next game. But it's just a
Yeah.
really tough game, Ronald. I couldn't talk you off taking the under though in that one. But Suns are the better team. They definitely have the better starting five. It's just you got to keep that rotation tight. They really need
Get that
campaign back.
balance.
It'd be
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, be interesting to see when campaign comes back in this one. This line was at 2.5 yesterday, creeping up to 3. It's sitting at 4 at the sharper books at Circa and that bookmaker there, guys. So they kind of telling you that the bigger bets are kind of coming in on the Suns in this one. Suns probably looking like the right side here in game 3. And usually you like to take a game 3 who you think is going to win the series. I think it's going to be the Suns. I would lean towards Suns -3.5 in this one, guys. And Ronald is leaning towards the under as well, right, Ronald? Any other thoughts on this one? Any props that you're looking at in this one? I know KD only went for 25 last game. Do you think that he tries to
Mhm.
turn up here? You think Chris Paul, something like that, have a better game in this one? What do you think about possibly some Kawhi prop?
I was
You talked about
I
the
was
load
looking at
management.
I was actually
Has been
looking at a
balling.
under. I was actually looking at under on Booker. I was looking at his game log, and in the playoffs specifically, he's only gone back-to-back 30-point games in the playoffs once in his career. So it might be a situation where we see a balance, right? We're expecting these guys to play less minutes tonight. I think the key players like
Mhm.
Booker and KD. So I would look towards Booker points under. Right, even though I expect the Suns to win, I think it's going to be a balanced effort from these guys. We got guys like Okogie and TJ Warren, and even Shamit had a bad game in the last one, but they still ended
Mhm.
up winning. But these guys are guys who've been able to play off of the bench for a long period of time, in their careers. and they have some playoff experience as well. I mean, TJ Warren in the bubble, you already seen how what he can do in the playoffs when it matters. So I think for the most part, the Suns here, I would say Booker still goes under his points prop just because I feel like I said, it's going to be a balanced effort from the Suns side. I know you mentioned the Clippers being a deep bench as well, but tonight is for me. I think the situational aspect of it is really towards the Suns here.
Yeah, no, it's a good point there. Yeah, I'll watch this game, maybe a good live betting game as well. Another thing, if you like the Suns, you might be able to get a better number. Wouldn't be surprised if the Clippers came out with some, right? We know that with the whole zigzag theory, team that lost the game before, want to come back with some. We know role players play a lot better at the house as well. Wouldn't be surprised if Clippers came out with some in first quarter, first half. And really, if you're the Suns and you want to play your guys heavy minutes, you want to do that more in the second half. So that probably means you're going to get a little bit more of their bench early on in the game. And then KD, and then they do what they did last game where KD plays the whole third quarter and really try to come in and steal this game. So actually could possibly get a better number with the Suns in game. I wouldn't be surprised if Clippers came out with some. This is a really close series. I do think the Suns win this series. They will win one of these games in LA. It's just about if it's this one or the next one, guys. But still lean Suns in this one. Wouldn't be surprised if you got a better number in this one, Ronald. It's time to get out of here, my brothers. We do have a special promo code as well. If you'd like to get 50% off some packages, try WT as well. I'm pretty sure it works over there at Sports Memo as well. It's where my guy Ronald is. It's just a special promo code for Wager Talk if you'd like to try out some cappers over there, 50%, or our guy Ronald over at Sports Memo as well. Ronald, what do you have going over at Sports Memo, and what are your best bets for today, my guy?
Yeah, I got a NBA package. I also have a MLB package over at sportsmemo.com. I'm gonna give out a few of the plays today right now that I have, and one of them is the Suns game under. I took that one, so I'll give a total that there. A side game, I did take the Sixers minus 4.5. Also a prop look. I talked about Looney over his rebounds and assists. I like that one as well. So that's one prop, one total, and one side that I gave out to my clients that I'm giving out for free here. And also, guys, if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, you guys see my Twitter handle. I've been giving out a lot of like hockey and baseball stuff, content on Twitter, so for free. So if you guys want to just follow me there, obviously, that'd be cool.
Yeah, shout out to my guy Ronald, man. First off, he come on here, he give his plays, even the ones that he's giving to clients as well. It's not like he's saying, "Hey, look, just go check out my pack." You know what I'm saying over there. So first, I really appreciate that from Ronald as well. And like he says, he does multiple sports as well, guys. He does UFC, baseball, and hockey as well, man. So I always say, I know I specialize in one sport. I kind of stick to what I do, but shout out to the ones that's like guys like you and Munov, Ski as well, doing baseball, NHL, all that, man. It takes a lot of grit to be locked into multiple sports and know it, man. So shout out to my guys. For me, best bet for me, I did take Warriors in the first quarter minus 2.5. It's up to 3. I still like the 3 as well, guys, and heavily linked to the first half as well. This probably should be a trifecta spot for the Warriors. We know that the refs are going to be on their sides. They're going to be calling shit against the Kings and Kings with the young guys as well, especially the bench. Probably won't play the same on the road in this one. It's like night and day from having your crowd be with you to the crowd being up against you as well. Every shot that goes down, they're rowing. I think the Warriors feed off their home crowd in this one. They will likely come out here and cash the first quarter and the first half. Probably full game as well, to be honest with you. But personally, I didn't bet the full game. Couldn't talk you off trying to throw the Warriors in the parlay with somebody. I have a hard time seeing them go down 3-0. Obviously, 0-3. Obviously, anything is possible. And this will always tell people nothing is guaranteed, guys. Never bet in over your head. I know this is the playoffs here, but never bet more than you can afford to lose, guys. I always tell people that. You see what I'm saying? So we're always trying to cash here. We take our spots and we live with the results. 100 times out of 100, I take Warriors here in the first quarter. I might get there with first half as well. This is a Warriors type of game, probably from start to finish. More likely, like you saw, like the Bucks yesterday, guys. Their backs are against the wall. This is an absolute desperation mode. I do not bet against teams in these desperation spots. Either I'm betting on them or I'm staying off the game in this one, guys. Give me Warriors in the first quarter with a heavily lean to the first half as well, guys. Let's get some cash. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe. It's Us Against the Bookies. Follow our guy UCapper Sports on Twitter. You see what I'm saying? Right now, go follow him, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hope everybody has a great day. Let's get some cash. We will win. Let's fucking go. Let's go, baby.